Today on the podcast, I want to talk about a really interesting new AI project that I think is going to make some really big waves, specifically in the video arena. And it's called Pika, I think Pika AI, but the website is Pika.art. In any case, essentially this is a video generation tool, an AI video generation tool that's gone incredibly viral on Twitter and everywhere else because it is literally the best video generation AI tool I've seen out there. So today on the podcast, I'm diving into its capabilities, talking about their demo, a bunch of really fascinating use cases for it. Before we jump into this, I want to give a huge thank you to the over 260 investors that have invested in our crowdfunding campaign on republic.com. AI Box is my no-code AI app builder and marketplace. We're currently raising a $1.2 million round of funding on Republic, and we've set this up in a way that any listeners or any fans can invest in this. Minimum investments are $150. Maximum investments are $100,000. And we've just crossed, this is, drum roll please. We've just passed $280,000 invested in the campaign. So we're super excited to get this thing built. We really appreciate everyone. If you're interested in investing in a brand new cutting edge AI startup, I'll leave a link in the show notes to republic.com/AI-box, but let's get into the episode. Welcome to the world's #1 AI podcast, AI Chat. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Make sure that you go to aibox.ai, link in the show notes, to join the waitlist for our new AI platform. We're going to be launching an incredible platform that allows you to build anything you want with workflows in AI. So you're able to chain together ChatGPT and image generators and audio generators to make really powerful apps for your organization, or you can host them on our marketplace and actually generate royalties from them. So make sure to go to aibox.ai and join the waitlist. In addition, if you like the podcast, if you could do me a massive favor and please leave us a review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. This helps me be able to get better guests on here as they check the reviews to see how you guys are liking it. So if you could please do that, I would really, really appreciate it. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. So Pika.ai or Pika.art, I think is their website, is a really impressive AI video generation platform. And the reason I want to bring it up is because, of course, we've known since, I think, the beginning of the year, kind of the leading platform is called Runway. That's the leading video generation platform. But if you've used Runway, something that you'll notice is the video can seem a little glitchy, kind of like stop motion. It's just not very smooth. It's kind of like a GIF, to be honest, like an animated GIF. And I'm like, no knock against them. I know this is a really hard kind of technology to crack. They've done some interesting things where they've done Runway did like an Academy Awards where they had people make videos with Runway. But something that was really hard with all of those videos, and I've noticed because I've played with Runway, is it's really hard to generate a specific character over and over again. Like the big problem is if you're like girl with black hair on boat, now girl with black hair getting off boat, it's going to be a different girl for both of them. And so it's really hard to make something consistent and cohesive. So that's kind of the big thing that I think Runway's struggling with. And they're doing a lot of good things and making a lot of big breakthroughs, but it's definitely something they're struggling with. So along comes, and then of course, all of Hollywood is doing their own thing, but no one is able to really crack this code. It seems very hard until today when we have Pika.art has come out going viral all over Twitter because it has an incredible demo where, I think the strategy they've employed is really smart. And this is the same strategy that Midjourney, the most popular image generator, used. And that is that it seems like they're targeting first kind of this Pixar animation style content, and then they'll probably get more and more realistic. And they actually are doing a lot of realistic stuff too that's really impressive, but I've just seen some really impressive Pixar kind of style stuff, and that's kind of what Midjourney did. Their tool got more and more realistic. Humans got more and more realistic on it, but originally they were more just like the art. So if you wanted something to look like a photo, Midjourney wasn't the place, but now Midjourney really can do that quite well. So the demo that Pika is showing off kicks off by someone typing in to a search bar, Elon Musk in space, in a spacesuit, 3D animation, and it's like a really great like 3D animation. Looks like Pixar of Elon Musk on the moon with a rocket ship blasting past. There's like a cow floating through space that looks really good. They have just like all sorts of like funny animals floating through space. That was their first kind of demo. Then they went over to one of like sushi, and the AI generated sushi video is pretty good, but still feels a little bit more Pixar-y. They have one of like 3D, a video of like nachos, and then like a raccoon running up and stealing the nachos, and it looks a little bit 3D generated, to be honest. They say robot walking. It's a Pixar video pretty much of a giant robot walking through a dump. They have, blonde girl in a candy shop, gaming style. Anyways, they like a whole bunch of really impressive prompts. They're able to do all sorts of styles of animations. And I think that's kind of the first thing, right? Is these kind of like animated videos, which are impressive. The next thing they do is allow you to drop in a picture or an image and turn it into a video. So they have one where it's essentially a picture of the Last Supper, right? Jesus and his 12 disciples sitting around a table, and they say the Last Supper, and then you have like all of the people in this famous photo, right? This famous like Jesus and all his apostles around a table photo, but all of them are moving and looking around. Very, very impressive. The other thing that they do is they upload a picture of, it's like a very basic picture of a silhouette of a person on a horse. And then they say a cowboy riding a horse in the desert. And all of a sudden that silhouette is turned into like a real life, I would say fairly like 80% realistic, 90% realistic video of a cowboy in the desert riding a horse. Then they change it though. So they show you that you can use the same like starter footage. They change it to like a boy riding a horse in like the, in the stars, then a knight riding a red horse through the forest, just like a pixelated video game horse person riding. So it's kind of interesting because you can start with one specific image and then you can like turn that image into that like shape into a lot of different things, which I think has a lot of really impressive applications. The other thing that they said is you can expand the canvas of your video. This is an incredible tool. We've seen the same thing with Midjourney or Photoshop or Canva, where you have an image and you like expand the edge of the image. And I use it all the time when I'm making like podcast covers and I'm pulling in like my guest and their like LinkedIn profile picture, which is usually where I get their photos from. If like this, it's like the edge of their sleeve is cut off in their profile picture, but I need them to be like more centered on the thing, I'll expand the edge of their like shirt so it finishes off the shirt, it doesn't look cut off, right? So that's something I use all the time. And I do that on Canva, but you can also do it on Photoshop and Midjourney. But they're taking it one step further and now allowing you to do this on video. So you can expand the ratio. So like if you take, let's say you take a video on your phone in portrait mode, you can switch to landscape mode, and it's not just going to crop it down to that size, it's going to expand it to that size. So if it's in portrait mode, it's going to add more on the sides. If it's in landscape mode, it's going to add more to the top and bottom. And they have 4 different like settings or 4 different dimensions. Now, the other thing that's really impressive is they have it where you drop in a video of a girl. Their demo is a video of a girl walking down the street. And I'm not sure if she might actually be AI generated as well. But a girl walking down the street and she's wearing a red shirt and they change it to be a denim shirt. Then they change, so they draw like a highlighter over her shirt and change the color of it. Then they turn it into a black leather top. They do another one where there's like a video of a monkey and the monkey's like looking at the camera and they highlight over his eyes and say cool sunglasses. All of a sudden now the monkey is wearing sunglasses. So it's like you can live edit these things. And the reason I think this is really cool is like imagine you were trying to make a movie. This is so much more realistic and like feasible than Runway, where like let's say you're making a movie and you have someone walking down the road. In the next scene you generate them again and you probably are going to want to start with an image, but let's say it generates and it's the wrong shirt, or you want them to change clothes, like it's an astronaut and they jump out of the space station and then it's like, oh, when they get back in, they take off their space suit and they're just wearing like a suit, like an astronaut suit or something different, right? Like you can get it to change their clothes, which I think is really, really cool. It'll be really cool for making videos. So all of this is available. You can join the waitlist for their website on pika.art. Very cool project that I'm super excited to play around with, and very, very interested to see, how this works. I'm currently on the waitlist. I've not used it. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing in their demo. But I think there's some really impressive features here that I haven't seen anywhere else. So this thing's going absolutely viral, and I absolutely understand why. I'll keep you up to date on how this rolls out. And I'll keep you up to date because sometimes these demos can be deceiving, as we learned with Google Gemini. So if this is actually capable of doing this in the dynamic way they show, will be very interesting and something I'm curious to follow along with. Thank you for listening to the AI Chat Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate me wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure you check out our Discord channel and also our Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast, where we can actually share software tools, prompts that we're using in everyday AI. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.